going to show you this, the Aberrant behavior checklist, and we can do this together. I found a PDF someone had made. Here you go. You can just Google for it. It's slightly weird because I Google with the UR, and Google always goes, "Did you mean behavior OR?" No, I didn't. We had this conversation in our Discord recently, didn't we? Just a moment ago, because it's like it's International Lego Day today or something, or it's Lego Appreciation Day, and something to do with maths. Anyway, some of you say Legos and math, and some of us say Lego and maths. Anyway, no, we didn't have a crazy cat incident. We had a crazy technical incident. Anyway, hopefully you can all see this on the screen. Let me try and make it bigger. Go. So I haven't looked at this. Let's do it. I've seen the. Hang on. Let me put myself on top. There we go. That's better, isn't it? Make myself big. I'll tell you what. I'll go bigger and I'll slide off the sides. Make a good use of space. Yeah, we don't need all this crap on top, but we'll have to live there for now. Or I can just do that. There we go. It's a better use of space. Look at that. Right. I'm going to do this. And I'm going to fill it in, assessing myself. Some of you could be in a position, if you've been attending these live streams for a while, you might be in a good position to fill in the numbers for me. You could even say, you could even fill this in for me. Okay. But I'm going to fill it in for me. Let's see if you relate. Let's just have some fun with it. Because look, I've got to make something out of it. Do you know what I mean? It's like making lemonade with rotten lemons. When life gives you rotten lemons, make lemonade that makes people sick. That's what we're going to do today. Oh, hang on. Instructions. Please rate the child's behavior for the last 4 weeks. I like that. According to the scale below. 0. Not at all a problem. I'm going to define that as... I don't know, actually. I don't know how I'm going to define problem. I would say problem because aberrant behavior means... It literally means if you're pulling out an aberrant behavior checklist on someone, you're basically saying they fucked up. They're an absolute fuck up. That's basically it, you know? Because this sort of material doesn't get pulled up normally in life. So let's do it together. Abhorrent. Yeah. Aberrant. It does sound like abhorrent. It's a bad use of word, but it's like, it could be called negative behaviors, couldn't it? It could be called negative behaviors. Whatever. The point is, this is already begging the question before we've even started. When somebody pulls out the badly laser printed, black and white monotone checklist of behavior, okay, we're going to get on with it. 1, the behavior is a problem, but slight in degree. Again, slight. Let's not Jordan Peterson this thing. What does slight mean? What does behavior mean? Go to number 2. The problem is moderately serious. Okay, and 3, the problem is severe in degree. I think this checklist was built by somebody that doesn't get words, but whatever. Okay. Please keep the following points in mind. Take relative frequency into account for each behavior specified. For example, if the child, in this case me, but also fill it in for yourself, averages more temper outbursts. So temper outbursts, we'll just call that sort of emotional distress reaction, rather than get into the whole temper tantrum meltdown thing, than most other children, it's probably moderately serious or severe, even if it occurs only once or twice a week. So they're basically saying, you know, temper tantrums, meltdowns, whatever, are moderately serious or severe. Other behaviors, such as non-compliance, would probably have to occur more often to merit an extreme rating. Okay, so what they're trying to say here is, if it's temper outbursts, you know, let's call it just emotional distress. I think that's a fair mapping. Then we can say that that's a big problem, but the other stuff is not a big problem. The checklist was published in 1985, Chloe, and has been used in hundreds of studies. I found, from a study that I pulled up from the late 90s. It had been used something like 300 times. It's been used more since then. This thing has been used in descriptions of autistic behavior. When we're talking about, does broccoli cure autism? This is what we're talking about. This is one of those things. Sometimes the ADOS is used, but not always. The ADOS would be better than something like this. But let's do it. This is, you want to know about autism research? We're doing it right now. Consider how the child behaves with others, not just you. Try to take the whole picture into account. And 3, try to consider whether a given behavior interferes with development, functioning, or relationships. For example, body rocking. I mean, body rocking can work quite well in relationships. Let's save that for another stream. Social withdrawal might not disrupt other people, but it probably hinders individual development or functioning. Functioning is a hell of a label, by the way. Do not spend... I had somebody leave me a comment on one of my videos, like yesterday, on, I think it was my my anti-intellectualism video, and they went like, well, you are obviously very well functioning, you know, you're obviously fine, but think of the other autistic people. I just thought, what the fuck me. Fuck me. When the trolls don't even go, you're not autistic, they go, well, you're high functioning, but think of all the other fuckers. Do you know, it was a big comment, but you know what I mean? It was, right. Do not spend too much time on each item. Your first reaction is usually the correct one. I love how you're all in the chat. You're all displaying your autism, like peacocks displaying feathers. It's wonderful to see. Excessively active at home, school, work, or elsewhere. That's everywhere, isn't it? So like number 1 is like excessively active everywhere. What's excessive again? Chat, give me a score. Am I on 0, 1, 2, or 3? Score me, please. You guys can score me. I can score some of these myself, but score me. Come on, what am I? Am I excessively active at home, school, work, or elsewhere? As opposed to what? Does it mean like running around in circles and things? Like, what's it mean? Does it mean spinning? Work? Excessively active at work? As in 2? Juju scores me a 2. Do we have any movements on 2? Toffel's got the questionnaire out to do with me. Okay. Okay. I will let you all know now. Number 1, Hychanuka's giving me number 1. Laura Havoc's giving me number 2. Toffel's giving me it depends. I think it depends is true on all of them, actually. We're not going to cop out. Been climbing the walls recently? Yeah, I have. 0 to all. Thank you, Ashley. 2 to 3, says Jansen. 3, fuck you. Autism addict, 3, wow. I'd say you're quite active, Mike. Okay, I think probably I am on the higher side of that, but still. Injures self on purpose. I'm going to say no, but to be fair, I do injure myself a lot. I'm covered in scrapes and bruises and cuts. I have more. I have accumulated some. I shall do a show you my injuries video at some point. But so, I mean, look, if somebody is on a dive boat and bleeding, if there's blood, people blame me. People literally point at me, mentally active. You're right, actually, Wendy, that's a really good point. Because somebody could literally be almost not moving, or, you know, even like ADHD, for example. This is before ADHD. In the term of this check, when this check was made, ADHD was sort of ADD and not very well understood. And it was only really a young boy thing. And even then, very rare, you know? It wasn't. I'm just saying we're time traveling. We're going back to the Future. The first movie. Was the first movie 1985? No, it was set in 1985. But is it a problem? Yeah, so I'm pretty injured. If there's blood on a dive boat, people literally point at me. I even had one time somebody got me some plasters from the front of the boat, I don't know what it's called. The front of the boat, the bow. It's not the bow. The bit you sit in, the wheelhouse. And they come out with plasters for me because I cut myself. Because obviously it's me. Listless, also for breaking cameras. We got a formally diagnosed ADD in here, which kind of ages you, Johnson. It kind of tells people your age. Listless, sluggish, inactive. I'm going to say no, but sometimes, yeah, sometimes I'm the opposite of what I am now on a stream, but still. The test is younger than me, Ashley. Thank you for pointing that out. Thank you for suggesting it. I'm 4 years older than the test. Aggressive to other children or adults. This could have been used on me ultimately. You know. Aggressive to other children or adults. Verbally or physically. Well, I did flip. I was aggressive to the computer. I'm doing this to the computer. So I don't know. I'm going to say 0. I have upset people in the past, but still. Seeks isolation from others. You know, moderate. Yeah, I definitely do. But it depends. But this also is like from where. When you're in a school and your only cohort is because the parents of the kids in your class all fucked at around the same sort of time. That's a really tenuous link to link a cohort of children. I never understood that. I think the Japanese model is so much better. Apologies for my rudeness, by the way. But like, still, do you know what I mean? Like, kids, I think should be taught in more like interest groups. You know what I mean? You could flavour every lesson with a certain interest. You're interested in history or whatever. It could be that could come into everything. You know. Anyway, whatever. Let's just carry on. Meaningless. There we go. Meaningless, recurring body movements. Meaningless, recurring body movements. Everybody. Meaningless, recurring body movements on an aberrant behavior checklist. Meaningless from the perspective of the taker, the writer of this thing. Recurring body movements. Women I read, I put myself down as 0, I think. Meaningless, recurring body movements. I mean, what the fuck? But what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Isn't that Montessori? Yeah, I suppose it is. What the fuck? Meaningless recurring body movements. I put it down as a 3, but that's how it would be perceived. But what the fuck? Concrete Jungle says all these questions only pick up on what they visibly see, not the understanding. You're totally right. In fact, even now, the diagnostic criteria for autism in the DSM-5 and the ICD-11 are all external, you know, checklist type of affair, right? I know there's diagnostic tools which are built on top, which involve interviews, which involve read this book of flying toads, read this, that sort of thing. But it's all looking out in. I hope that when the next DSM drops, and I don't know how this would be done. I don't know how you would conduct an experiment to prove something one way or the other, to demonstrate something. But I think that it's going to be one of those things that we need to start asking people about what their internal experience is like. And that needs to be part of the diagnostic criteria. Autism, it should be something that's inside. By the way, Nina the tea fairy has just arrived home. The dogs are going to kick off. Don't worry about it. We'll just ignore them. Right. Boisterous, inappropriately noisy and rough. I am going to say 0 on that, on the basis that, you know, I definitely wasn't running around. I was running around the playground on my own in circles, right? But like I wasn't ever interfering with other kids in any way. I wasn't touching anyone. God no. So yeah, I'll put that down as 0. Screams inappropriately. Screams inappropriately. I'm gonna say no. Okay, we'll leave the door open and you can hear the dogs. Maisie. By the way, this is one of the curses of my life right now. Like not really now on a live stream, whatever. This is fine. But like I'm working and then the dogs kick off or the dogs start barking, whatever. It's definitely a problem. Like I enjoy the companionship and, you know, Maisie came out with me today, but it's definitely an issue. Let's wait for Tea Fairy. Oh, we'll do a 2-minute break. How about that? 2-minute break. It is 8 o'clock. And I'll see you all in a second. Don't go anywhere. Ads might play. Whoa.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and a hummingbird wing. Golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things. Gold hair, gold rings, gold leaves, gold anything, golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things.
Hello. Welcome back. This is Tosca, by the way. Look, Tosca cat. Look at her. Look how pretty. Look how pretty. Look how pretty. Look. Look. Tosca. Tosca the cat. Reminding us to be... Okay, I'll put you down. She smells nice. This is stimming too, by the way. Stim the cat. Stim it. Right, okay. So, where was I? Okay. Let's go back. Checklist. Okay. We have... I'll try and speed up. Screams inappropriately. I'm going to put down a 0. Talks excessively. Where am I at on talks excessively? Let me think. 0. Now, if this was done on me when I was in primary school, at the start of primary school, it would absolutely be a 0. I didn't speak at all. I mean, I think we probably will get to it. Well, I'm not stimming the cat. I am stimming with the cat. A 5. Juju says a 5. So we can only go to 3. We can only go to 3. Yeah, talking excessively is definitely high. Hard to say since we've only seen your vids and live streams, Mike. With what, like hundreds of hours? Temper tantrums, outbursts. Oh wow. I mean, it's not so much of an issue now, but you know, back when I was a kid, for sure. I'll put it down as 1. It's hard to say, like, am I doing it? Like, I'm doing it as me now. There you go. Stereotypes behavior, abnormal, repetitive movements. Preoccupied. Your audio is crackling. I think you probably need to just refresh the stream. Stereotyped behavior, abnormal, repetitive movements. Yeah. Preoccupied, stares into space. Impulsive, acts without thinking. Irritable and whiny. I don't know. I definitely want a lot of YouTube videos. You'll have to let me know. Restless, unable to sit still. Who we got? Oh, the cat's letting themselves out. Yeah, go on then. Okay. It's not Tosca, it's this one. Everybody, guess the cat. Who is? If you guessed Sabre, you were correct. Okay. Right. Over the back. Withdrawn. Prefers solitary activities. Odd. Yeah, this is the one that just made me laugh. In my video, Anne-Marie, hi Chinooka. Yes. Double long. Odd. Bizarre in behaviour. Welcome to Bullyland. What a bizarre thing. Like, everyone who fills out this flipping sheet, right? Everyone who fills out this aberrant behaviour checklist is going to have 3 on odd, bizarre behaviour, because they wouldn't have pulled the sheet out if they weren't seeing some odd, bizarre behaviours. Disobedient, difficult to control. Well, my dad would say 3. I'll put myself down as 2. Yells at inappropriate times. I don't think so. Fixed facial expression, lacks emotional responsiveness. That's unfair. Just flat effect. It's just perfectly acceptable part of being normal. Human. 0. Disturbs others. Yeah. Repetitive speech. This is echolalia. The checklist is totally broken, actually. Repetitive speech. Yeah, I mean, yeah, but, you know, is it a problem for other people? Does nothing but sit and watch others. Yeah, totally. Like, well, it says does nothing. I don't know. I'm going to do that because, yeah, absolutely. Like, it's quite fun, actually, to go and get a coffee at, you know, like a cafe or whatever, and just sit there with your headphones on and just watch people. Like, it's actually quite interesting just sort of seeing how people behave and how they act. It's almost like a live action role play aquarium of people. Uncooperative. Yeah, I guess. Depressed mood, yeah. Resists any form of physical contact. Bear in mind, it's written about children. And it's like, yeah, but not for reasons that are stereotypical, I think. I don't know. I feel like it's perfectly rational. I mean, this is kind of where I go with an awful lot of my content, is that a lot of... Yeah, thank you, Invisible Hand of Tea. It's back from work. Did you have a good day at work? See you soon. She's a bit like shocked, like what? What the hell? What? Yeah, I don't know if she had a good day at work. It was, but it's just me and everyone on the internet. It's just like, is now a good time? Yeah, just whoever's in is in, whoever's out is out. You'll be standing there for an hour otherwise. You really? We have a barn owl, folks. We have, well, we don't have a barn owl. It's not like the emotional support peacocks, but like there is an owl out there. An owl. Anyway, ha ha ha. Remember to hydrate. Available in the merch store. Each sale, there is a $3 profit margin on the mugs. I tried to keep them as low as possible, but there is a very slight profit margin on the mugs. It's $3 per mug, which I figure is enough to go and get a cup of tea. I figure for every person that buys a mug, I go and get a cup of tea. I thought that was probably the right way to do that, but yes. What a hoot! Indeed. Right, where are we at? Yeah, so what I was trying to say is where I go well, it's just my philosophy, my values. It's my opinion, I suppose. Everyone's got an arsehole, everyone's got an opinion. This is just my opinion. But my opinion is that a lot of behaviors, first of all, just needlessly pathologized, like leave people the fuck alone. But also, there are some very good reasons behind the behaviors that's never looked at. It's always, what's the behavior? Right, you're annoying me. Therefore, blah, 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 blah. And since people don't get to do this to people, as adults, just in public and whatever. A lot of this comes from school. This is like very school heavy, by the way. Residential community homes, as in formerly called asylums. They probably were called asylums. Back in 85. Fuck it. These were mental asylums. 85. And in other places where people are expected to be uniform, homogenous. So, there's some very good reasons for that, moves or rolls head back and forth repetitively. I'm going to say no. Moves or rolls head back and forth repetitively. Elon Musk, ketamine stimming, maybe, I don't know. Like, forgive me for that one, that little outburst of mine. But like, what, not really. I wouldn't say moving my head back and forth is a stim of mine. Head banging. Maybe this is talking about the metalheads. That was getting popular in the 80s. Does not pay attention to instructions. I actually do pay attention to instructions, but sometimes I may need them repeating, or I may need them written down, or I may need to think about them afterwards. I do very, very badly when I'm just given a list of instructions. I'll give you a very quick example. I find the sort of quintessential... That's not for me, I bought them for you. You're welcome. No, they're not sponsored. You can't show... No. But technically you can, but like... I got Nina some licorice. She likes licorice. I know some of you weird people like licorice as well. It's not that good, to be honest. Enjoy your licorice. You can have the whole bag to yourself. I'm not gonna drink licorice. You drink licorice. You get like licorice tea and stuff, but like she likes the licorice. Whose head are you rolling? Temp. Whose head are you rolling back and forth repetitively? Oi! That's hilarious. Does not pay attention to instructions. Yeah, so here's one for you. So something that I often... I dive with a diving agency called BSAC, or the British Sub-Aqua Club. And the way that BSAC do things sometimes is a little bit weird, because they presume that people are quite happy to stand around listening to briefings all day. Because on a typical sort of recreational dive, we'll have a site briefing. In other words, the dive manager of the day, could be me, could be someone else, will give a briefing and go, the conditions are like this, the tide's doing this, blah, 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 watch out for currents, blah, blah, blah. Kayakers, don't watch out for them. All of the people on jet skis, be aware of that. Risk, blah, blah, blah. Exits, entries, blah, blah, blah. After the site booking brief is done, then the next thing is the buddies will do their own sort of briefing. Instructors might add on to that and give another briefing on top. So if you're new to diving, you might end up with 3 briefings, essentially being spoken to for maybe 10 minutes. And some of this stuff might be quite important to know. I think that's a bad way of doing things. I am not good with the talky-atty briefy thing. And I know, look, I do that in my YouTube videos, but you can pause them. Not watch them or whatever. Like, no, this is a test for children as well. This is the Aberrant behavior checklist. All right, I'm going to speed myself up because I don't want to be doing this all day. Demands must be met immediately. No, I don't know what that means. I genuinely don't understand. Demands must be met immediately. Maybe it's like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory, right? Where you've got the spoiled kids and they're being really demanding. Could be like that. I don't know. Isolates himself herself from other children and adults, 100%. It's a bit of a hallmark. How do I feel about turtleneck tops? Sensory nightmare or sensible choice for winter? I prefer not to. I prefer to have scarves, but sometimes a turtleneck or a higher neck, I mean, I can turn this into a turtleneck sort of by doing that, can be quite nice if I've actually injured myself. So there've been a couple of times I've pinched my neck a little bit too much and I don't want people to think I'm getting hickeys. So, yeah. depends on the material entirely. Like this sweater is, or I call it a jumper, is on the limit of like material comfort, but it's pretty good. I mean, the very ends of the cuffs are a bit sharp, but it's fine. So I think it depends on the turtleneck. It depends. I actually have a turtleneck jumper, like a Steve Jobs type style. It's just a black, thin, not expensive turtleneck jumper, and it's really silky and lovely. So yeah, I guess it's a mix. Disrupts group activities. I'm going to say no, but yes, I could disrupt group activities by just being me. I don't know. Sits or stands in one position for a long time. I don't know. Like, the questions are repetitive. I agree with you. Like sits and, I mean, I do sit for long times because I really don't know what they're getting at. Talks to self loudly. Sometimes. Not loudly, but talk to myself a lot. Cries over minor annoyances and hurts. Based off of like cries, I don't know. Yeah. Repetitive hand, body, or head movements. Yeah. So, mood changes quickly. Mood changes slowly, actually. That's the irony. Like, mood changes pretty slowly. I like dealing with some of the medical staff when my mum is still in hospital, actually. And in dealing with them, it's been quite helpful to have a slower changing mood, because I can kind of come across a bit scathing sometimes when I'm explaining the issues. And, before I've become emotionally angry, which actually seems to get attention. On the other hand side of things, I love Pierre Novelli's description of the face dance and having to lose your shit as an act almost before people believe you, because that's also an issue. So I think sometimes having a fast changing mood is really helpful. People take you seriously. Unresponsive to structured activities. Does not react. I actually haven't got a fucking clue what that means. Does not stay in seat during lesson, training session, meals. Yep. Always get up and move about. Will not sit still for any length of time. No, I can do. Depends. Is difficult to reach, contact, or get through to. I don't know. I'd say 2. It sort of depends, right? I mean, I've got people that handle my work communications for the most part. Although, yeah. Cries and screams inappropriately. I don't know. Prefers to be alone, very much so. Does not try to communicate by words or gestures. Easily distractible. Yeah. Waves or shakes the extremities repeatedly. Yeah. Repeats the word or phrase over and over. Okay, echolalia is talking about that. Stamps feet or bangs objects or slams doors. Yeah, but like not on purpose. I'll probably say number 2. Constantly runs or jumps around the room. Constantly? No. Rocks body back and forth repeatedly. Yeah. Yeah. A reasonable amount of movement. My feet right now, bouncing. I also have under my desk, by the way, an under desk elliptical. I'm doing this, look. I'm actually cycling right now. You wouldn't know. It works really well. Deliberately hurts himself. No, but I understand. There are some issues around self-stimulation that can be harmful, which we'll talk about later. Pays no attention when spoken to. Apparently so. Physical violence to self, no. Inactive, never moves spontaneously. Tends to be excessively active. We've asked this already. I don't know. 1. Responds negatively to affection. What kind of affection are we talking about? I was just about to say something incredibly inappropriate. And then I needed to remind myself that I'm actually on YouTube. Let's just leave that as a 1 or something. Deliberately ignores directions. No, not deliberately. Has temper outbursts or tantrums when does not get own way. Has temper tantrum outbursts or tantrums when does not get one her own way. I suppose the way that that's written is kind of coded like a tantrum as opposed to a meltdown, which is more about fuck off rather than do what I'm telling you, or I'll give you more shouting. So I'm going to say no. Shows few social reactions to others. No. Depends who they are. You folks? Or are we talking about a typical sort of like a work environment, a work conference? Okay, how do we score this then? I'll score it during the break, but where we like, what do we do with it? What do we do with the numbers? Tea Fairy has given me some fern. I was going to say it's like plastic plant, but it's not a plastic plant, it's a fern. And some nuts and things, which is very sweet. However, what she doesn't know is I have a Tesco finest nut selection. I enjoy a selection of roasted hazelnuts, almonds, cashew nuts, macadamia nuts, Marsona almonds, and pecan nuts. I love the allergy advice. It's very funny. May contain nuts. The other thing is, it's like ingredients: roasted hazelnuts, roasted almonds, roasted cashew nuts, roasted macadamia nuts, roasted pecan nuts, roasted blanched Marcona almonds, whatever the hell that is. They're very, very nice. If anybody wants some, if you've got a peanut allergy or something, it's probably best you don't take any, but you can have some if you want to. Yeah. They're very, very tasty. We take the numbers and crank. Well, we do, but then what does the score? How do we rank it? How do we rate it? We'll do this at the next break. I'll give you the number. I'll add up in private. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. My mother and I would just enjoy lots of nuts and things. Highly, yeah, they're very nice. They're quite high in fat, but they're also high in lots of minerals and vitamins that don't cure autism. I also have a lovely cup of Yorkshire tea and a hydrate mug. Also doesn't cure autism. I feel like we need to be quite clear on what does and doesn't cure autism. Sabre doesn't cure autism. He's so lovely. He's actually a naughty boy, but he's a good boy. He's my familiar. He's yeah. I get very sad if I think about not having him because yeah, it's like he's just there. He's just present all the time. Even when I don't want him to be. Like he interrupts my videos all the time. If he hears me talking, he's like straight there. And yeah. I mean, if he's sometimes in the background and I'm not aware, you'll kind of catch him in the background of the videos. But yeah. You're a pain in my butthole. You are. Yes. What's been in my butt? Right. Where were we? Yeah. So I'll add up the numbers. We'll do maybe a little bit of Googling as to how do you score this thing? And then we'll see where we're at. Both of these cures autism. Yeah. These nuts. Seamus is doing his best. He is. Not all who wander are lost. Hi, I'm new here. Are you? Because I've definitely seen your username before. You can go into the no toast or next no licorice section. Absolutely, 100%. The lighting I know is a bit bad in here at the minute. That's because my light is not working, and I don't know why it's not working. Oh, it is working. I can turn it on. There we are. That's a bit better. 5,000 Kelvin and a bit more light. There we go. Now we've got light. Right, where are we? Sorry. I think I got 92, but I did in a rush. Now, you add them up, we can compare and find out who has the high score. Find out who has the most aberrant behavior. Stop it, Sabes! See what he's doing? It's like an earthquake in here. I found a rock in my driveway that cures autism. Who wants to buy it? Only 1,500. First, you have to prove that rocks cure autism. I don't have a tantrum, Mike. I see you over there. Drakanadan Okatu, T-Man autism, but it does help me recover after meltdowns. I agree with you. Tea fixes everything. And for that reason, I've actually just got a fresh cup of tea. So normally the rest breaks are, I need a cup of tea. But I don't, I have one. Highest level of autism. Ren Saber out to nap on the bellies of pregnant women who cure autism most of the time. That should be like a new Patreon tier. So Saber rental. But yeah, it's just the things that cure autism. I've got so many videos to work on. I'm thrilled with it actually. I think, oh look, there's so many things to do. And part of me also thinks, like, sort of, in some respects, none of it should ever be there. It's a bit weird. Like, it's like, it's ambivalence is what it is. It's like, oh look, I can make tons of autism content. I could literally spend my whole life making autism content, and even then I wouldn't get it all done. And then it's like, yay, that's exciting. And then also, actually, all that shit shouldn't be there, should it? None of it should exist. It's really bad, really, when you think about it. Seen my username before? Possibly, yeah. I definitely have seen your username before. Maybe in a comment. It's quite possible. If you've written a really good comment, I may well have seen it. Sometimes I don't see the comments, but sometimes. Oh, we have a birthday in the chat. Laura Havoc, merry birthday! Merry birthday to you. Merry birthday. To show the test for neurotypicals, what deficits they have. Exactly. Well, here's the thing, Isabella. We need some sort of scoring mechanism for the exact opposite traits of autism. I made a video. Do you know what? It turns out that most creators have made videos like this. I thought I was onto something. Turns out it's the same as everyone else. But basically, I called it neurotypical spectrum disorder, and I just reversed the diagnostic criteria for autism. Just reversed it and went, that's all shit. It's actually quite easy. It writes itself. And so much about what people associate with autism is, I don't want to say scientifically, because I don't know. I feel like psychology isn't a real science a lot of the time. Personal bias there. But like, a lot of that stuff is based off of talking about autism. Most good autism papers start with an abstract with at least a sentence. Sorry, pardon me if you heard me burp then. I apologize. They start with an abstract or introduction line, something along the lines of autism is an extremely heterogeneous condition. In other words, it's very different. It's a spectrum of traits type of thing. And that's good because most of the time researchers don't even allude to that, and they just work on the body of knowledge, which is basically about people in residential care facilities. Yeah, sucks. Yeah, it's kind of broken. Right, 2-minute break. We're 2 minutes late for it, so let's do it now. 2-minute break. Adverts might play. Just hang around. No one's going to miss anything because I'm not going to be here. Actually, I am. I'm going to just add up all the numbers and find the thing. So, happy birthday. See you soon. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Really, really 2 minutes. Just notice the pictures of kittens there. The pictures of kittens. The kittens are tiny. I can see Anna and Tosca and Gwyn. Gwyn's at the bottom right.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and a hummingbird wing. Golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things.
I really shouldn't, but my score is 78. My aberrant behavior is 78. So we're still in the 2 minutes. I'm going to just quickly find out what I do with 78 points of aberrant behavior. Maybe I can cash them in for something.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things.
Okie dokie. Here we go. What does 78 mean? Ricketic 65. We're going to find out. I want, if everybody has their scores ready from here, not that one, that's aberrant movement. Look, aberrant ABC behavior. Yeah, let's not look at fucking ABA. My video on specifically deep diving into ABA hasn't been done yet. It will do. It's on my list. It's a mighty big topic. It is another one that I know people are going to hate me for. It's like it's quite a buzz. I'll be honest with you. Thinking I know what I'm going to do. For example, as an autistic vegan, let's talk about why this autistic vegan is wrong about curing autism. Do you know what I mean? Or anything. Just like, you know, every single time I put out a video, sometimes it's not memes. Memes tends not to piss people off, but people do get really pissed off sometimes. It's a minority, but some people get really angry. Like they get like off the charts angry. Like I've just told them to do something horrible. Right. Here we go. So if you've got your score, we're going to just scroll past all this. This is just called, it's when we talk about papers and studies and things, right? You know, sometimes it's really fucking grand, you know, like people go, I've got to publish this, it's a research paper. It's not. It's, you know, this is, it's a manuscript. They're all manuscripts. But like, this is it's just an article. It's not that amazing. It's not, you know. Anyway, when's it from? 2014. That's good. Okay, scroll down. I'm going to scroll down past all of this. This is a nice little essay. And here we go. Demographic information. So they had 73 defined as male, 24 defined as female. Obviously, bear in mind, this is from 2014. So, you know, according to the literature, trans people barely exist back then. You know, gender non-conforming folks tend not to be included in studies sort of prior to, I don't know, like 2018, 2019, I think is the first time I'm seeing studies that actually intentionally bring people in. For example, self-diagnosed autistic people. Why not? There's a massive group of people out there who are self-identified, and you can give them things to fill in. You can challenge that group and see how it comes and see how it validates with other things. By the way, that's where we get the Flying Toads book, the Flying Frogs book, because, you know, I don't have this information, but this is how it works. With the ADOS 2 Flying Frogs book, they have a module, and it's part of it, including a couple of Matchbox cards, some matches. I don't know if it's coins or marbles in a little bag, a little baggie. And you're wondering, like, how the fuck do we end up in a position where we're handing grown adults some toys to play with? I'll tell you. Because it's validated. Because you end up with a group of people who are confirmed autists. You know, they have been given their autism from on high, from the psychiatrists in the sky. They have come down from heaven like Moses with the tablets of stone and given you your autism. So you give the group that test and you say, right, tell me a story about flying frogs or whatever. You qualitatively get some results that match with people who are autistic. I've said all of this in a really roundabout way because I don't have the evidence in front of me, but that's how we end up with books of flying frogs and matchbox cars. Oh look, autistic children do this. Right, okay, so you do it too. See if you're like that. Then you must be one of them. That's what I mean to say. Hence why we don't see queer and trans. The reason why I would mention it too is not just for being inclusive and woke, but it's actually genuinely interesting because there is a big crossover, and it would be really interesting to just explore and talk about. I think that'd be really interesting. So here we go. We have So some of the questions break down into hyperactivity, stereotypic behavior, lethargy, withdrawal, irritability, and inappropriate speech. Okay, so how does it break down? Where is it? Just give me the number. I want this broken down more. I don't even know who this group is. I've scrubbed ahead so fast. I want a combined score. Yeah, this isn't going to be useful. Yeah, 85. The total score for this instrument was not psychometrically derived and is not valid. Oh. What? Where's the DOI for this? What did I just added it to fucking favorites. I don't want to do that. Where's the DOI reference for this? Doesn't have one. This is not useful. Okay. Let's just say that 78 is a number. We can do that, can't we? We can go, well, 78 is a number. And I've just wasted everybody's time. I feel bad about this. But yeah, this is, yeah, this thing here, I've no idea about the validity of this. I want to get the DOI. I want to go and download the content. The subscales in respective number of items are as follows: irritability, social withdrawal, stereotypic behavior, hyperactivity, non-compliance, and inappropriate speech. A total score for this instrument was not psychometrically derived and not valid. What? What do you mean by was not when it's is? I don't get it. Most raters complete it in 10 to 15 minutes the first time. Thereafter, rating times usually decline. Okay. Well, I'm genuinely a little bit. What I want to do is to go, hey, look, this is where I scored, and I can't do that. I'm really sorry. Maybe I can. We'll figure it out. I need to do some research on this. I've done nothing. But I guess what I'm trying to, I don't even know who these people are or why they're writing this. I mean, this particular thing has only been cited twice. The Aberrant behavior checklist has been used hundreds of times in studies. It's been used loads. But I just wanted to Aberrant behavior. Okay. This is the original paper. Look how often the original paper's been cited. Oh, interesting one here for you all. I'm level 78 autistic. Do better next time. So Google Scholar's quite cool like this. Whatever, go away. Not you guys, I'm talking to the computer. This is the number of times that the Aberrant behavior checklist has been cited. You're definitely not supposed to do a checklist on yourself, you're supposed to do it on children. 42 is the answer. What is the question? Exactly. But look, it's been cited a crap load of times. And I know from some of these citations that they say that it is a good tool. Turns out that it's actually only got a marginal fit for actually autistic children in the real world. And you've got to grind out those autism levels and get your epic stim gear. Exactly. Exactly. But this is kind of disappointing, by the way. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't matter. We don't know why they're citing it. We don't know why this paper is being cited. It might be critical. This isn't necessarily approval. But it's a bit disturbing that it is getting a lot of citations. Article citations. Oh, God, look at this. Oh, shit, we can go back in time. It is interesting how the citations play. I agree with you. Yeah, Chloe, I don't know why that is. I don't, it's weird. Yeah, I don't know. It is interesting. But anyway, here. Article citations. Pharmacological treatment in autism, a proposal for guidelines on common co-occurring psychiatric symptoms. That's not necessarily the worst thing, to be honest. The Aberrant behavior checklist and a clinical sample of autistic individuals with intellectual disabilities and co-occurring mental health problems. Clinical significance of the Vineland Adaptive Behavior Scale 2 with children with developmental disabilities. Parental burnout in Israeli parents of children with ASD during wartime. The role of child behavior, parental emotional regulation, stress and social support. Parent reported outcome measures for individuals with Fragile X syndrome. Clinically meaningful change thresholds. The associations between child behavioral problems, parents' emotional regulation difficulties, and parental burnout among Israeli parents of children with autism during wartime. A bit of Israel stuff in here. I don't know why. I don't know what the correlation is. AST-001 versus placebo for social communication in children with autism spectrum disorder, a randomized clinical trial. Ooh, that looks interesting. We appear to be creating a YouTube video live. What is AST-001? Does anyone know? Drop it in the chat. This study examined the efficacy. This is fairly new. Psychiatry and clinical neurosciences. Okay. I want everybody, if you wouldn't mind, to look away right now. Okay. Just don't look at my bugger. Okay, never mind. You can look back now. So I was just asking my scientific researcher friend with a wooden leg if they could find me the paper. They didn't have it. I thought I could ask. Sorry. What is this AST? What is AST-001, by the way? Like, what the fuck is that? What the fuck is this? What is mouse model of autism? Okay, yeah, we know about the mouse model of autism. That's quite funny, by the way. People. What is AST-001? Yeah, it is definitely a drug. Non-essential amino acid. That's interesting. Continue. Continue. I'm not. Phase 2 clinical trial consisted of a 12-week placebo-controlled main study, a 12-week extension, and a 12-week follow-up in children aged 2 to 11 years with ASD. Participants are randomized in a 1:1 ratio to high dose, low dose, or placebo to high dose control group during the main study. The placebo to high dose control group received placebo during the main study and the high dose AST-001 during the extension. The placebo to high dose control group received the placebo during the main study and a high dose. Yes, okay, cool. That's really interesting. So we've got a couple of different, they're testing for a couple of things here. AST-001 was a prototype for a class of Imperial Walker. Our results provide preliminary evidence for the efficacy of AST-001 for the core symptoms of ASD. Oh, and It's like, our results provide preliminary evidence for the efficacy of AST001, right? Evidence which way? Where do we... Open PDF is going to make me... That's going to ask me for money. Motor skills, socialization, daily living skills, communication, adaptive behavior, composite. Wow, that sounds very, very technical. Parental distress. Difference in adjusted LSM. What's an L... This is the trial. This is how they... I want more information. This is not enough. There's tons on this, by the way. This seems to be where we're going. But the fact is, where I'm going with this, right? What is going on in Mike's head that he's not communicating? These studies are interesting because they all reference this 1985 document, the Aberrant Behavior Checklist. I don't know why they're referencing it. They could say, I think it's unlikely, but they could be saying, this is how autistic behavior was quantified back in 1985. Blah, 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 blah. Jansen has just made me an offer. Thank you, Jansen. That's amazing. I will also let you guys know this, that in some of my previous videos, and I can show you the receipts, I have been paying for access to papers. And I think that's kind of fucked up. Thank you very much to everyone who supports me on Patreon. You have basically paid for those papers in some of those videos. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's nuts. And I'm not making a claim one way or another on the AST001 thing. I'm not making a claim one way or the other. Okay. But what I am saying is the paper, which I can't see, cites, which I do know, this Aberrant Behavior Checklist, as do all of the others, by the way. Look, I mean, all of these, and it would pain me, it would actually pain me, genuinely pain me, if their metric for the improvement of autistic, quote unquote, core symptoms, who uses that fucking phrase? Not even the National Institute for Clinical Excellence use that phrase. This, and I think there is a potential issue that this is how they're assessing the improvement of autistic symptoms. That's where I'm going with this. Does that help everyone? Am I clear or am I really unclear? I feel like I'm being really unclear. And have I completely bored the chat, by the way? Am I even live? There is a risk I would just go off on one and not actually be in the room, so to speak. It's the autism. But yeah, sometimes, you know, all of these have got no citations, but they're new. They're all new. Parent training for disruptive behaviors in referred children with autism, a randomized controlled trial. This is not necessarily as bad as it reads. It's not necessarily the worst thing. It depends what the therapists are saying. That's all. Oh, sorry. Is it broken? It's broken, isn't it? Sorry. I was reading something called Parent Training for Disruptive Behaviors in Referred Children with Autism Spectrum Disorder, a randomized controlled trial. And we're all observing you. This isn't a threat, even though it sounds threatening. I was just feeding the cats. I'm so sorry. Was I clear? Hang on a second. Let me go to the... Let's see if that works. It does. This needs work. I'm not expecting you to be able to see it because it's unreadable, right? Where is the chat? Right, I have to read back in the chat. I get you, Mike. Okay, that helps. No, you're not live. We don't hear you at all. Thank you. You're good. Okay, cool. Because I do actually, you know, my videos are constructed, as in, I don't even have a hypothesis going into this. Well, I do. Okay, I do have a hypothesis, and I think I can prove it every single time. I'm pretty confident. And all of these papers, all of these recently published ones that are citing the aberrant behavior checklist, I would like to know how they are referencing the aberrant behavior checklist, because they might be saying the aberrant behavior checklist is old shit. In fact, it's not even from recent DSM criteria. It's actually old criteria. So are we assessing possible therapeutics for autism, as disgusting as that sounds to me? Are we assessing that based on a checklist from a previous vision of what autism looked like in the United States from when I was a baby? Because if we are in 2025, that would be quite shocking. Thanks, Anesthea. I appreciate that. Because I wouldn't even film myself having these thoughts. This is quite early on. This is quite early on in my. I wasn't even planning on doing this tonight. Like, this is just, I'm just reading. This one here, which you can't. Hang on. For some reason, that seems to be stuck back in the past. No, it's looking at a different tab. I'm such an idiot. Which tab are you looking at? Right. Okay, that's the tab you're looking at. Why is it that tab? I don't understand. It's not that tab. Okay. You should be looking at the whole browser. There we go. Right, that helps. Okay. Now we're getting somewhere. Not that. Julian? Saber! Don't do that to him. That's rude. Julian, good boy. Come here. Saber biting you. Oh, Saber bit Julian. Oh. Dewey. Dewey is our oldest cat. Must be treated as the gentle old man that he is. Dewey, put you down. Oh, okay. Right. Yeah, all I was saying was, this is not necessarily the worst thing in the world. It depends what the behaviors, what the training is. That's all. But if the training is targeting this, about preferring solitary activities, then you are just going to hurt autistic children. So if there was a pill that made me less of a 2 and more of a 1, and less of a 1 and more of a 0, and less of a 3 and more of a 2, let's look at this again and go, would I like to be less active? Would I like to be... if there was an autism roadshow or trade fair similar to Comic-Con, would you go? What would it feature? Yeah, I'd be open to going to something like that. Sure. I don't know. It's not something I've thought about. Probably because it doesn't exist. Does it? Does it? I mean, I know Comic-Con is full of neurodivergent people, but like, I don't know. I'd probably, yeah, I would go to something like that. Yeah. Even in disguise, I would go, and not that anyone would recognize me, but I would go and hide in the back. Yeah, Saber's just being an asshole. I mean, I think what Saber's doing is he's trying to get my attention, and he will do that because then my attention is there. But like, there is one, the autism show at the Excel Centre in London each year. Chloe, when is it? We could do a meetup. We could do... Right, so anyway, my point is, right, this is where I'm going with it. And I don't know. I mean, I guess if I ever contributed, I don't know what my contribution would be, if any. I'm just As those of you on Discord know, I'm just a guy. There is Ortfest, but Ortfest is very far from me. Tell me, Chloe, this is not off topic. Let us know. Is it worth looking at or looking into? Is it full of like Autism Speaks fans? Like, what's the deal here? Would somebody... Bullying, victimization, and autism. Data was gathered 2000-ish. That is very, very interesting, Sharmat. I would like to look into that a bit more. You can tell me about it in the Discord. If you wouldn't mind. I mean, I'm just giving you something to do there. I know. But like that's kind of the whole point, right? Yay, CO detectors. CO detectors for everyone. Make sure you have your CO detectors and fire alarms working.
Ready. This is only cancel.
Fine. Thanks for the reminder, Shoikler. I want to lie. I'm going to read this out in the spirit that it was intended. I want to light Autism Speaks. I want to light Autism Speaks up blue. Well, blue is the hottest flame. Light it up blue. Blue is the hottest flame. Oh my god. That I don't want to quote you. You know who you are and you're in the chat. You can out yourself if you want to. Said, and I don't think it was in my meme review. I think I had to take it out. I didn't have to, but I have to. I'm on YouTube. Got to play nice. But it said that Autism Speaks should instead burn their $46 million because at least fire is a visual stim. And it would do more for autistic people. And I just think, yeah. But would I want to be less excessively active? But it is excessively from Neurotypical's point of view. I get called Tigger sometimes at the dive club. I think it is probably fair to say that I am quite active. I do move more than people that are trying to be cool, I suppose. I don't know. I haven't got a fucking clue. The listless, sluggish, inactive thing is more like just wanting to be. Quote unquote meaningless. They're not meaningless, but people think they are. Body movements. So would I take a pill that made me more quote unquote normal, quote unquote typical? Obviously not. Fuck you. Like, of course not. If one would exist, if pharmacology produces one, would I want it? Would I want a pill that makes me enjoy would I want to go from a 3 here on withdrawn, prefers solitary activities to a 0? The answer is alcohol. I'm not proposing anything to anybody, but I binge alcohol at social events. I find it sometimes helps. I don't need alcohol to have fun, quote unquote, blah, 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 blah. Autism and drug-related issues. I have to be careful now because I'm on YouTube, but like there are issues there. There are paradoxical effects. Caffeine sending you to sleep, that sort of thing. Not for me, that. But it's still it's a nascent area of research, which I think is fair. I think it's areas of research that autistic people would generally be okay with. I'm not speaking for all autistic people, I'm just saying. But yeah, would I want something that just turns me into like a socialite and I can't sit and read? No, that's not who I am. I would be a different person. I would be a different person. This one is being used in papers as Thea. So this is the Aberrant Behavior Checklist from my last video. It was mentioned in my last video. It's not all about it. It's just this is the scale that was used in the studies that Dr. Greger cited regarding autistic behaviors, or what he calls core symptoms. So when you hear about sort of autism reversal, like, how is it measured? What does it mean? What's the ruler? This is the ruler. This is the ruler. And this appears to be the ruler still for quite a lot. Chloe was right. It's interesting that it does appear to be less of a thing now. Lost my... Hello, Hydra. Tell you what, I'll just go to Hydra for a sec, because you can't stay here. So what Hydra does is she flops herself on my desk right there. This is Saber. The Hydra is here. She flops herself over, and then she goes, "Hi, I'm so cute. Look at me." Then she starts pressing buttons, and that's when we lose the stream. So we will lose the stream in like 4 minutes if Hydra is allowed to stay there. But this is Hydra the cat. This is Mama. Bloody hell, she's warm. Hydra, you're so hot. Although I am wearing a jumper indoors, so... Look. Hydra. What are you going to say to your... What are you going to say to the people? Please say something. Hydra. Please. Are you going to bless them all with your autistic autism? Please bless them all with your autism. She's like the Pope. Yeah, that was me doing that. I'm sorry. Okay, I put you back on my okay. This is Hydra the cat. Look, Hydra. Hydra the cat. Hydra. Since she was little, I would go for walks with her just around the house, you know, just like back and forward, and try and get her used to just being on my shoulders. Or she used to actually sit on a shoulder like a little kitten. She's a bit too big for that now. She's the wrong way round. Hang on. I thought first scarves were not allowed. Okay. Hydra, you're stuck. Ah, Hydra, your claws. Hydra! Okay. Second. Your baby boys say hello to you, but I don't think she gives a shit. Yes, yes. Hydra is... Anne-Marie, I had a part Maine Coon who used to love being used as a rap like that. Oh, that's really sweet. There are 8 part Maine Coons. They're here. I'm going to press this button just to show you. Look at that. They're all half Maine Coons. And yeah. Group project. Let's create a neurotypical behavior analysis test. Yeah, Laura, let's do it. In fact, I would like to say, if I could be allowed to do one thing to not set the criteria as in like each item or whatever, but you know how we've got neurotypical spectrum disorder? Wouldn't it be cool? Wouldn't it be cool if we actually went to the tests like the Aberrant behavior test and we actually used the criteria, used the evidence that they used to produce this, to produce the anti-this? I think it would be really interesting. I think has no apparent enjoyment in their surroundings. Has... One second. cannot requires social hierarchy to function. How about that? How about appears lost without the approval of others in their peer group? There you go. Incapable of enjoying their time with themselves. And I don't mean that in a sexual way. I just mean just unable, incapable of just enjoying a quiet moment with a lovely cup of tea and a book or a cat or a blanket or something. How about that? How capable are you of being still? And I don't mean still as in like physically still necessarily. You could be vibrating away. Again, I meant that in a non-sexual way. But just being at peace, if that makes sense. How many tuts do you make each time you think someone is being obtuse? Yeah. How about, I just must always be entertained, must always have, stimulating, like for example, how many minutes can they look into a fish tank for? How about that one? How long, 0 to 1? You're neurotypical. I don't know, I'm being a bit, talking about myself here. Obsessed with physical contact. Obsessed with touching people. How do you flirt? Multiple choice box. Look over and smile wistfully, flick your hair, and then sort of look down again and then look back again and give them those. That would be A. B. I really like that video you made on the I'm messing about with you now. You know what I'm trying to say. Unable to focus on one particular topic. Exactly, Aesthea. Mastery. Unable to work on, unable to focus on an intense interest to the point of mastery, meaning a very good comprehensive knowledge. You're aware of what you don't know. There are a few unknown unknowns, basically, or you know them and you can label them and you get to that point. That's mastery. How many judgments do you make anytime a person's listening to you? Yeah, how judgmental are you? It's a question about being judgmental. Difficult time with honesty. Oh yes, indeed. Having an intermittent relationship with honesty. Do you have a problem respecting boundaries? Well, indeed. I mean, potential pushing them. Obsessed with saying things you don't mean. Yeah, exactly. Do the words that come out of your mouth match your psychological intention? Or do they have different meanings? I think I would be hard to take out of context. I think it can be done. Like it can be done. But you could clip my videos and make me appear a certain way or whatever. But I don't think that'd be that easy to do. I tend to say what I mean, and I'm quite playful, and I tend to play a lot. So yeah, I don't think that is very neurotypical in that respect. Talks to self loudly. How about this? How about no relationship with disrupts group activities? I mean, it's all about the group, right? Except for the group work. Unresponsive to structure. Does not stay in seat during training session or meals. Look, undervalues the practical purposes of routines. Routines have got practical, there may be a practical benefit. Underplays those. Loves group work, yeah. Difficulties with precision. Yeah, in activities, in speech. I agree with you, yeah. Prefers verbal face-to-face communication as opposed to any other type of communication, and there are many. Over-reliance on body language. Cannot be left alone, yeah. Having to follow social trends, yeah. Can't create their own trend. Must follow the trends of others and have the same beliefs and the same sport teams, I think a good example for you, which I think is valid. This is a hot take. Mike's hot take, which he thinks is a good example, but he might be wrong. Football teams. So, for example, if you live in the northwest of the UK, you're supporting Liverpool, Manchester United, or Manchester City, or Everton. These are your sports teams. You don't support a different one, Newcastle or Arsenal. Like, those are your teams. That's who you support. And it's possible that you might move across the country and no longer support a geographically local sporting team. You will be teased for it. You will be ribbed for it. It'll become part of the banter and the social cohesion of the group. I haven't got a fucking clue. Like, my first clue that I didn't have a fucking clue what was going on was football teams at school. That was my first obvious, I've got to fake it. My first obvious moment of, I will go and buy the Liverpool magazine. Why? Because my dad supports Liverpool. So therefore, in fact, that is his special interest. And holy shit, it causes family issues. Dad, if you're watching this, it does, doesn't it? I've got so many stories. But the thing is, then I got these Liverpool magazines and I put the pictures on my wall in my bedroom. I didn't have a fucking clue who any of the players were. The only thing I enjoyed was Euro 96, I think it was, or 94. I can't remember now. But they were loads of like shiny stickers, which I collected. I actually really enjoyed collecting those stickers and filling in my book and stuff and buying them from the local corner shop and this sort of thing. That was different. I think that was like more of a collection, a sticker game, right? Like a card collecting game. But like the sports thing, it was insufferable because it was literally like a prison sentence of football. Excessive sportsing, yes, but not actually of the sport. I don't want to differentiate here because autistic people can be sports people. They can love the stimming. Martial arts is full of neurodivergent people. It's not my thing, but I happen to know that it is. That's their thing, the dancing, the body movement thing. Needs external social structures to feel they're complete and that they belong. Yeah. Won't follow rules when presented with the opportunity to ignore them. Fuck me, yes. Let's get onto the crime side of things. Because I do feel like a lot of laws were written for fucking... In general, these are general sweeps. These are hot takes, but I think I'm right. Do you unquestionably run tests written by people that don't know what their credentials or agendas are? Yeah. Asks how are you and is not interested in anything you say. Why the fuck do we all still do? Why is that still a thing? Like everybody knows it's bollocks. I think asking people how they are and things is real. It's genuine. It's true. It can be a thing. Quinn from Autismatic asked me how I was earlier today, and I know that he means it, and mostly because he sends voice messages, and so I can kind of hear the tone, and I'm asking him how he is, but not in a how are you? Let's tick that off the box. I've got a big list of people to ask him how they are doing. It just doesn't really work like that. Here's one. It requires like how do we say this? Like parallel play, right? Or just doing stuff, body doubling. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong on that one. Level of Paul when someone actually says how they are. Anne-Marie, everybody's got some shit going on in their lives. Don't want to hear about it, don't ask. Exactly. You actively avoid meaningful dialogue? Yeah. How about this? How about inefficient communication? Prioritizes in-group safety over actual safety. Oh, Harriet, that's deep. I agree. I think I know what you mean. And that's deep. TKD, Jian. I'm saying that right. It's like Lian, Jian. Yes, did martial arts, but can't understand the getting excited about sport you're not playing, getting all dressed up to watch on TV. Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Like, I see clips, even stock footage. I've used stock footage of football fans, you know, jumping off the sofa and they're all together like an episode of Friends, but with football. And they're wearing like football tops and stuff. And it makes me think, it makes me giggle. It literally makes me giggle because I have zero interest in football, literally zero interest in football. I've watched one football game in my whole entire life. And it wasn't even a special one. I just thought I better watch one and figure out what the fuck is all this nonsense is about. Millionaires kicking bags of wind. I don't get it. But I wouldn't wear a wetsuit to watch, I don't know, David Attenborough documentaries. I haven't got what? I don't get it. I don't get it. Deficits and understanding differences. Yeah. Ha! Harriet Windibank. Kind notice. You don't have to relate to all of these traits to be holistic. Many holistics relate to some or none of these. Speak to a professional if you're concerned about your allism. Also, I should point out, Harriet, I think you've completely misunderstood. I'm being just sarcastic, I'm joking. But like you completely misunderstood this, because what I think you mean to say is, if you've met one neurotypical person, you've fucking met them all. I like weather, so for me it's not small talk, it's big talk, well, concrete jungle. Yeah. It's become I like we've had some conversations in the Discord lately. It was our turn to suffer the storm, and we've got damage, not too much, thankfully, nothing expensive, but just some nice things in the garden are now destroyed. But it was always going to be like that. We like company. We like people. Can tolerate fluorescent lighting. Yeah. What is that all about? Like, why? Like, what is it all like? We just nailed it. I mean, like, this little section of the live stream, we can start putting this together now. We can literally start. We can actually put this together because what the heck? Do you never break eye contact to keep checking how your believability ratings are doing? General Otto, I'm concerned. My sister and dad are holistic. How do I support them in the best way? They don't even stim, which is really weird. Oh, that's wonderful. Little tolerance for darkness, Astir, yes. Oh, that's so funny. I'm scrolling up the chat now because I'm sure I've not seen everything. Ability to tolerate greater than 12 cats in one household. Amateur numbers. Sorry. Little G Master, hi, I've never written on a live chat before. Not sure what to say, but just wanted to say hi. Hello, welcome. I didn't intend to ignore you or anything. It's just, the chat is what the chat is. My face is now hurting from smiling. Wendy, I consider one of my greatest achievements is Street Boys, none of whom likes football. You're doing your bit, Wendy. You did your bit. Do you have little or no capacity to self-soothe? How neurotypical are you? Okay. All right. I'm going to put a poll in the chat. I have to do this from the YouTube interface. And it's all like, you have to click a button that says engage with your audience. It's like, what do I engage with your audience? What the fuck is that supposed to mean? Start a poll. Right, here we go. I've put a badly worded poll in the chat. I've called it Neurotypical Diagnostic Checklist Video, yes or no. Basically this, what we're doing now. I think, look, basically, look, in last week's video, well, I say last week's video, on Sunday's video, I would like to make more than one video a week. I'm aware that I owe patrons a bit more on the video front. I've got the stuff, I just have to do it. In fact, actually, on that front, I've actually taken some pretty scary steps in the last week to reduce and scale down some aspects of my tech business side of things, so that I can focus more on YouTube. And it feels scary as hell. I'll be perfectly honest with you, but that's me. That's where my mindset is at the moment. And I've got my mother and all this sorts of stuff. Life is a bitch sometimes. But I think here's where I'm going with this, and the reason for the poll. After you've heard me waffle, please change your vote if you feel like you need to. It's perfectly fine. You don't need to go along with the group. So, in last week's video, in fact, this isn't just last week's video; it's a lot of them actually. But in last week's video, I briefly mentioned this aberrant behavior checklist, and that's because Dr. Michael Greger was citing studies that says that autism core symptoms improved, but it's basically it was the parents with this checklist checking off based on assessing their children's behavior. They assessed them at the start. I think they assessed them in the middle at some point as well, but they assessed them at the start and the end for sure because those data points are there, and that's how they became less autistic by doing. Where's my window gone? There it is. By doing this. This is literally what they did. This is what broccoli changed these numbers down from 3s to 2s, 2s to 1s, 1s to 0s. Like recurring body movements that are meaningless. I mean, some of these make sense. I mean, look, self-harm is a big topic, something we need to talk about at some point, especially when stims can get harmful. Same here with question 50. It's the same sort of thing. But a lot of this is perfectly fine, and dare I say, I think should be rewarded almost. Anyway, I'm not suggesting making one. I might make one, I guess. I could do a prototype and send it out there. You guys can edit it. But I think maybe we could even do it on a Google Sheet or something. But like, I think neurotypicals need to know. But other than just being a funny piece of content, I think it could be quite educational from a, not only why are we talking about it, but specifically, and it's not just like why are some of these things pathological, but quite a lot of this stuff is just a difference. Okay, change your vote if you need to. We've got 63 votes. Fair enough. The score is on yes to the video, 90%, no point, 9%. If you said no point, what would you prefer? Let me know in the comment, literally in the chat. Like, let me know. I've got a whole bunch of possible video ideas. I think this one's probably fair, and I'm inclined to flesh it out a bit. I think it's too abstract for the public. Yeah, I think you're probably right. Please do at least make a list. I'd love to just have it. I think the list has to be made. Like, the list has to be done. Like, we have to do this checklist of neurotypical behavior. We have to do a neurotypical behavior checklist. Overly susceptible to social programming is absolutely the case. Oh, I wasn't thinking of having like scientific validity, but neither does. Let me say something here, right? This checklist, okay, it has what's called it does not have. So there's like there's this concept of margin of fit. Jansen is going to be screaming at me right now because I'm communicating it badly. But there's a concept of margin of fit. It basically is like how well does something like this checklist actually fit real world in this case, autistic children. This one is marginal, as in barely. So I wouldn't, the problem is, a lot of studies will be looking at this and using things like this, if not this exact checklist, but not communicating how piss-taking validity, is marginal. 0.83 validity. Have I been told off by Jansen in the chat? Nope, I think we're good. No, don't do that. I know I've explained it. I think I've really buggered it up. I'm sorry. Can you buy beige coloured broccoli? Well, you can buy blue coloured broccoli, Pardo. Light it up blue. Actually, the tender stem broccoli, which is kind of like a blue purple kind of colour, I think that's quite nice. A lot of recipes want you to like put it in the oven for some reason. I don't do that. But like just boiling it or very lightly kind of frying it. I prefer to boil it and make it soft, like I'm eating it with dentures. I don't know if you do with it. Just I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry. We're now beyond my beyond my sphere of knowledge. We're like rapidly approaching the edge, and we're going to fall off it. Hot broccoli, yeah. Beige broccoli is just rotten cauliflower. Actually, you've only seen green broccoli, really? So I think it's often sold as what's called tender stem broccoli over here, but there are other names for it. I don't know, or purple broccoli. It's like it does look different. It almost doesn't look like broccoli actually. It's like it's quite long, bits on the end. I don't know. Helen, I like purple broccoli. Thank you. I do like it when somebody validates what I've said. Not necessarily agreeing, but like Mike hasn't just fallen off the edge. I like big crunchy broccoli with butter on it. Yeah, butter on it is great. Technically, what we all call broccoli is calabrese. Calabrese, says Wendy. I don't know. You've all got like way more knowledge. Broccolini. I think I've seen that term before. Lightly steamed broccoli. Yeah. Yes, microwave. I forget how good it is to actually microwave this stuff. So you can literally put like tender stem broccoli on a plate, put like a bowl on top of it, bosh it in the microwave, boom, chuck it on the side of your meal, and eventually you may not be autistic anymore. This is all joke. Just assume everything I'm saying is rubbish. I think we call it broccolini here. Jinx. Nice. Sprouting broccoli. Yes, sprouting broccoli. Yeah, I can. Yeah, sprouting broccoli looks. Calm down, guys. We'll go extinct. Broccoli's one mustard, is it? Pardon, you don't need a therapist to teach you sarcasm. You just need to come to this live stream. It's free, and it's just concentrated sarcasm. I don't know. Just assume it's all sarcasm. I was saying earlier, just assume everything is a joke and sarcasm, and I'll say if it's real. I kind of there is someone did give me some feedback via another YouTuber, an anonymous feedback, that I laugh when I'm talking about serious stuff, and that throws them. And I understand that actually is true. I think I've never considered that. Sometimes when people say things, you're not the best judge of yourself, but you are for autism, I think. But actually, with respect to those kind of things, you're not really. And I wasn't really aware that, but it's true. I think the reason why I'm laughing a lot, I find it kind of awkward and funny, is that a lot of this stuff is so fucking batshit and people swallow it up. It's funny, but not in a ha-ha way. I'm really sorry. I would laugh at a funeral for similar reasons. Not because it's funny and somebody's died and people are sad and it's all horrible. But I've never laughed at a funeral. I've farted at a funeral. I've never laughed at a funeral. Like, but it's the same thing. It's like, it's not an appropriate thing to do, right? Because people are supposed to be sad, and laughing is seen as this, it's always funny and good, but sometimes it's just awkward. And I'm not, and I don't know. I mean, like, every week I've committed to looking at some of this weird stuff, and it is weird. And I'm happy to say weird in a negative way when I'm talking about things like this. What am I supposed to do? Odd, bizarre in behavior. Laughable is Autism Speaks has closed down their Canadian operations. That's not funny. That's cheers, everybody. Have broccoli. Lots of people laughing uncomfortable. I agree with you, Helen. It is not comfortable laughing. I'm not having a this is all day fun. It's well, everyone's a bit neurotypical. Yeah. And when it comes to the Simon Baron-Cohen autism quotients, which are better, but still haven't done my video on them yet. Do you know why? Because it's farming. It's like, that's there. For that day when I just have no fucking brain power left, I can do an autism quotient video on YouTube. Farts are natural, but eye contact while farting is intense. We chased Autism Speaks out by waving sticks of broccoli at them. Exactly. And I'm sorry, Scott. That is sad, and I'm yeah. I'm genuinely sorry. I think even like dying and yeah, we're not gonna talk about this on tail end of streams. It's like a starter stream kind of thing when all the energy is there. But like bad pun alert. Autistic Canadians are very reliant on poutine. That is a bad pun. I can see it. I've not heard that joke before. It's like a 3.5 out of 10. But yeah, like Canada has boosted out Autism Speaks. Yay. Woohoo. Brilliant. I genuinely think that's amazing. And they're not in the UK. Thank God. It'd be interesting to see their donations and the currencies that are used. Be an interesting clue. They're due to put their last year's financial statements out. I'm waiting, by the way. Autism Speaks. I know you watch some of my content sometime. You might not want to. Is it okay? I'm genuinely not looking forward to it. What have I missed? Have I missed something in the chat? I think we're all having different conversations now. Actually, I don't see the pun. It took me a while as well. But yeah, like Judy says, Judy Bell, poutine sounds like routine. Yeah. In fact, your chips, cheese and gravy, that's Manx, by the way. I don't know who was there first. But on the Isle of Man, there is a poutine. That's the national dish here as well. I hope that when I'm no longer here, you'll all find it very amusing as well. That came out wrong, but you know what I mean. Like, I hope some good has been done in the world. You know what I mean? There needs to be, you know. Mike cannot stop doing science videos that make it hard for him if he wanted to. Leslie, are you trying to mind control me there? Nah, Mike couldn't stop doing the science debunking videos that take a lot of time. More complicated than a meme review. I like doing memes. Mike couldn't do that. You can clip the stream. You can also clip on Twitch, which people have done. In fact, I was updating my Twitch profile the other day, and I noticed that there have been some clips made. One of the clips is me on the floor trying to catch a bird. And sometimes people clip my YouTube videos as well with really funny. I don't know if you know this, by the way. Oh shit, I've just realized something. It's a social hack. You can clip YouTubers' videos. They can see the clips and the names of the clips that have been made. That's interesting to me. That's a piece of knowledge I need to use somehow, sometime, but I don't know when. We could make a series of clips on Autism Speaks and be like, actually, do you know what? They probably turn that off. You can actually, as a content creator, you can turn clips off, which prevents people from clipping your videos. I mean, using the first party solutions. Obviously, you can clip anything by screen recording. My friend said he's doing the Lord's work debunking nonsense science. If this is about me, then I appreciate that very much. I'm twitching right now, Shape of Soup, in more ways than one. I saw wild emus yesterday. That's amazing. I wasn't sure about the emu status after the Great Emu War, which is a really funny thing to look into. If anybody wants a special interest, I've got one going for you. It's the Great Emu War, where just look into it. It's wild. To borrow another word. I'm using the word wild a lot at the minute. You should film a video on the floor. I'll tell you what, I'll put out a poll. Do a video on the floor, under the ground, in the sea. I haven't been in the ocean in a very long time, and I think I need to get back out into the ocean. It's very regulating for me. The Great Emu War was won by the emus. Yes. Just look into it. If no one's looked into the Great Emu War, I can't remember the first time I heard about this. It was probably on YouTube. It was probably just like a random thing, a meme or something that got me looking. And it's like, what the hell? It's so funny. Emus move in a hilarious way as well. Anyway, any of you remember Rod Hull and Emu? The Great Emu War is epic. Soup, look it up. It's amazing. Voc Rehab. Never heard of Voc Rehab before. Sounds like volatile organic chemicals. And if you need a rehab from those, you need a blockbuster trilogy. Okay. I was going to do some Minecraft stuff on this stream. Sorry everyone for the Minecraft server being down. I think it got rebooted or it was rebooted and then it didn't come back up again. I just turned it on. Creative was offline for I don't know how long it was offline for. I'm really sorry. I think a few days. Rod, Emu and Grot Bags. Yeah. I miss them, to be honest. I think Australia is one of 3 countries, as General Otter, that has lost a war against birds. I think China did it too. Yes. China did. They had unintended consequences from persecuting a type of bird. I have an Emu War shirt that just has an emu on it and says we won. That's amazing. That's amazing. Temp, what are the main differences between boytism and girltism? I know what you mean. And why is there a difference at all? I think I vaguely understand the answer. I just don't think I've ever heard it explained well. Okay, would you like me to have a go? I'm sure the chat will do a better job than me. In a nutshell, little girl running around in and out of social groups in the playground. Looks like if you're standing there as a teacher on break time duty with your handheld radio and your flask of tea and your big coat, you think, all right, little Sally over there, it's fine, no problem. When actually she's not part of those groups at all. She's just flitting in and out of them. Boy, this is very stereotypical, by the way. I'm just saying, the boy will be doing stereotypical autism behaviors. So that's one. And now a lot of the reason for this seems to be, and I'm not hot taking. I'm just reporting hot takes. I think. Do you know what? I wish I could do if I could wave a magic wand and cast a big spell or whatever. I wish that people would say if something's a hot take or if they've actually got a good reason to believe something. Girls are socialized a lot more than boys. Isabella says, yes, so they're going unnoticed longer. Yeah. Girls get a lot more social pressure put on them as well. This is all general. This is society, blah, blah, blah. I mean, look, we only need to look at eye contact as a classic example of how that's completely societal bullshit, because the eye contact thing is flipped east to west, generally speaking. So yeah, if you can use eye contact to diagnose autism, you can use eye contact to undiagnose it. Girls tend to internalize their traits. I think that's probably true for both the quote unquote boytism and quote unquote girlsism. Actually, a hot take. So a hot take is like an opinion that's not well founded. I'll give you a hot take now. The Autism Speaks next set of financial accounts will have slightly more money paid to family services, but it's on the same line as the word science, which means that they'll just redirect it into some stupid program that they've got going on and not actually pay it out to families. There you go. That's my hot take. I think I'm going to be right. I've got reasons for thinking it and reasons for saying it, but it's a hot take. It's just off the cuff. I haven't really thought about it. But I think it's, there you go. No, a hot take is just not well thought of. It's not well, not well founded. I think what I've just said is well founded. Argue with me. I think it is well founded, but it's like I haven't really considered what I've said. I've just said it. Would anybody like a piece of... I'm going to say Hydra. Yeah. Hydra shedding? That's weird. We should do a giveaway for a piece of Hydra. Okay. Cat fur. Okay, so our artist takes burn with blue flame. I think you should be able... Here's a hot take for you. Here's a hot take. I think you should be able to conduct an entire autism assessment using a text-based chat. I don't mean things like interviews with family, if available, or medical records, if available, blah, blah, blah. But I think you should be able to conduct an entire autism assessment using only text chat. Hot take. And I think it's probably, I think it's fair. I think I'll be right. Oh, is it? Are they actually leaving Canada on January 31st? 30 days, I was in April, June, November, 31. Yeah, 30 days, 31st of January. Are they? Is that actually the day? How do we celebrate it? What day is that? Friday. Okay, I'll have a think. A new merch idea, bags of cat fur people could turn into yarn and knit with. I have actually seen a book. It was in the category I used to volunteer at, about felting stuff with cat fur. Japanese type of book. And it's quite incredible what people can do. You basically make little balls of cat fur and poke it with like a needle, and that basically like interlocks. You can make quite solid models out of cat fur. Like a Turing test. I guess it probably would be, yeah. What? I don't know. I haven't given it a lot of thought, by the way. Shape of Soup. Mike, I agree, actually. I think it's doable now with proper knowledge base and filtering and adequate tokenization. Yeah, sure. I actually mean, I know we talk about like peer review and we talk about like speculating as to whether people are autistic or not and whatnot. But actually, I do actually genuinely mean, you know, a medicalized diagnosis. It should be possible. And I don't mean on the basis of somebody being non-speaking. I mean a preference for text-based communication. I don't think it's helpful, by the way. Like if you had an autism diagnosis, and like I wouldn't necessarily push for just text or whatever. I would, but I think it's interesting because you can kind of have a diagnostic, I think you could do a full disco diagnostic interview, text-based only. I think it would be a brave psychologist or diagnostician to do it like that. But why not? And then it begs the question, could a large language model diagnose somebody? Why not? This is very hot, this take, by the way. Oh, this is Anna, I forgot to mention. This is Anna Montana, Anna Ferret. Look at how long. She is also very fluffy, and she also smells good. She also smells very nice. What did you think? My hair knew I was autistic 15 years before I did. Place did my assessment offer text-based online assessment. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, that's good. I think hot take. Wow, we're getting pretty hot takey here. Don't cite me on this. Don't go like, oh, Mike Autistic AF said this. Yeah, he did, but I'm holding up my caveat card, and I'm just saying that I think this is kind of interesting. Not medically acceptable unless money. Well, yes. Oh, Diesel. Okay. You give them $1,000. Not the OpenAI model. I don't want to get too deep into it because my very loosely held claim will fall apart. Yes, autism diagnostics should be done by autistic people. I agree with you, Ace, there. I think absolutely, and I think we have an advantage. Okay, I don't want to get too AI because large language models are a pain in the ass when you talk to them about things like autism, because you will get some crazy ableistic shite. You'll get basically, it's like OpenAI have trained on autismspeaks.com. That's what you get if you ask AI about autism stuff. OpenAI particularly. I've not tried DeepSeek or anything like that yet, but yeah, it's like I would like to train an AI. Could an AI train on my YouTube videos and treat it with some authority? No offense, I'm not saying I'm an authority, but if AI could do that and train on my content, that would probably help everybody out, I think. I'm not saying that in a rude way, not just my content. I can't say, hey, go train on Meg's content. Like, you know, that's a weird thing to say. But just speaking as myself, yeah, I think it should train on autistic people, almost. An AI trained on exclusively autistic content would be interesting. Yeah, I think it would be pretty accurate on the whole. Did you know that there was a study done? I know I've sunk low down here. Hang on. Let me move things. Camera hub. Hang on 1 second. I can fix it. Are you ready for this? Ready? Watch. You were cropped in the whole time. I think NTs should be allowed to work for autism charities. Concrete Jungle. I don't think you should be like banned or whatever. But I think that the group that you are trying to help, of any group at all, should the priorities should be set. The strategy should be set by that group. Like I'm not a insert minority disabled group here that I am not. I would not set policy for other people based on what I think their needs should be. What do I know? An autistic AI would solve the problem of AI making shit up. AI is biased in whatever sort of, yes. Autism Speaks probably has a lot of textual stuff. Yeah, Autism Speaks is prolific. You give them that. Anna has a good set of legs. Oh, right, yeah, sorry. This is Anna. I did mention her earlier. I didn't realize you guys were watching her, but yes, here she is. Listen to the purr. Can you? Hey, Anna. Hopefully you heard her purring. She is cute. She is quite demanding. She wants a lot of stuff. Cat's on the board of cat charities. Judy Bell, yes. And I think, you know, you're probably right in that, you know, I was thinking in terms of things like UNICEF that do a lot of work with children. You don't have children on the board of charities, but in some respects, everyone's been a child, right? And we understand the concept of not owning humans, not slaves, but like thinking about what's best for people in their best interests. We understand this as a concept, but I think it would be too much to, I think that would be speaking over. I think Autism speaks over because their policies are set by, you know, Wells Fargo. Like if you're a banker, a banker wanker, then maybe. Maybe. Tangential hot take. It turns out that monotropism is inherently core quality of autism. I think some authors could be posthumously diagnosed autistic. Yeah, I think so too. I don't see that that's necessarily an issue. I think speculating on it's been talked about Taylor Swift is autistic. Yeah, you know, it's speculation. I mean, if you Google it, you see what I mean. I don't think there's much harm to Taylor Swift to do that, but potentially if it's like, you know, someone in your class or something, or a colleague at work, probably wouldn't. Cats already engage in mitosis. We should invest in cat mitosis. Well, here's what you need to know. Anna! I don't know how much these felt things are, but I'm going to guess I do not want you to do that. Yannicka, you're a QA'er. Hang on. So, Anna. Oh my God, she's biting it. What does that sound like? You are being eaten as a cat. You are all picture this. You have just been attacked by Anna. You are now being eaten. I'm going to need a new one of them. Oh, great. Oh, that's disgusting. She's stained it with her dribble. Okay, for those that don't know, I'm going to mute this for a second. Now, I've never looked online, but these are replaceable. So it's not the worst thing. But I've actually washed this once, but yeah, it's getting a bit damaged now. So I'm going to want to clean that, but I'm going to pop it back on so you don't hear the bad sounds. There we go. Let's see if I can get a cuddle one. I just saw the word cuddle and it went into my brain. Let's see if I can get a coloured one maybe. Right, where am I? You're a bit too low now. Whoa, look at that. Thanks, Anna. Appreciate that. You are a pain in the butt. Oh, Larry, antibiotics. Larry's on antibiotics. Ah, what? Look, Anna. Look that way. Wow. 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 Okay. You want to know why she's called Ferret? Oh, wow, Anna. Oh, okay. Yep. Anna Ferret. She's less ferrety now, I'll be honest. She's more she's less ferrety, she's more dribbly. Oh, the ASMR cat devours you. I want to know what that sounded like. It sounds like purred. I hear nibbly nibbly. Oh, it's tolerable. Just letting you look at her paws. Just look at my toesies. Mike's counting. You go through how many microphones a year? Yep. Say this time. Come for the autism, stay for the cat drawl. She's more cat now. Yeah, she was a little one that we didn't think would necessarily survive. She was struggling to latch on to Hydra. So she was we'd squeeze her in, and probably Maurice was getting moved. Toe beans reveal? I'd do your toe beans reveal. Yeah. One set of toe beans? Set of toe beans? Oh, trying to make you don't want to do it. Cat's got PDA. These ones. Just eat the cat. Okay. Bye. Oh gosh, hello. What ability you start a pandemic, stop podcasting? I did not stop podcasting. Well, I did the same with like woodworking. I got some woodworking tools and some wood, and I made a few things. I got really into it, and then I just haven't touched it since. You're still here, just got off to work. Well, Miss Pat, I will see you in the after party. Oh, she's got a peacock feather now. If I had that to a cat, I'd get a claw to the face. But it depends on the cat, Jansen. Polly would probably not enjoy it. Polly's over there. Julian's over there. He's probably okay as well. And I'll thank you for bearing with me for the technical difficulties. I need to remember to edit out the issues at the start of this stream, which I will do probably before I start the after party. Just give me 5 minutes so that I can kind of edit that stuff out, because I don't think it's good for YouTube. And I'll see you all in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes probably. See you soon. Thanks for coming to Tuesday's live stream. Bye for now. I'm still here. I'm just saying hello.
Bye.